Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Slingloff. I'm Guitar Product Manager for Boston Roland Guitar Products. I'm here at the 2018 NAMM Convention Center with American Musical Supplies. Thank you guys for being here. I want to tell you a little bit about the GT1000, a new effects processor which we've just come out with. It's got several different things that I'm really super excited about. Number one, it is the first 32-bit A to D, D to A processor out there in a multi-effects with amp tones in it. The only other processors out there with 32-bit are actually the Boss DD500, RV500, and MD500 series. Those effects are included inside of here, but there's a lot more going on here. Something we call AIRD. I'm just going to chunk on guitar for a second, and I want you to just kind of notice a little bit of the thump and resonance that I'm feeling in the room, and I hope you're going to feel it too. So, what that is our new technology called AIRD. AIRD stands for Augmented Impulse Response Dynamics. Now, the dynamics is the important part. I'm feeling that under my hand. I can even feel it through the monitor that's going inside this room. Right? That dynamics is a thing that we as guitar players intuitively feel, love, and know in our classic tube amps, but has been missing from all of our effects processes that we've been playing for years, right? Many companies have gotten fairly decent at their preamp distortion and stuff, and they're starting to get up in the good power amp characteristics, but they've been missing that interaction between the cabinet, not as an EQ source that goes out, but as a source that goes backwards. Because what people don't really realize is that a few years ago we started working on Tube Logic. Tube Logic is a process that we use in the Roland Blues Cube series amps, the Katana amplifiers, the Waza amplifiers, and it was that thing that allowed us to cut through a band and have that dynamics and feel. But when you want to try and do that in a thing that can be portable like this, it didn't have the backflow. So we needed to develop something new to get that characteristic. So it's not your typical IR type scenario, which is just basically a fancy EQ and some resonance in it. It's actually how that speaker sound should affect the amplifier working backwards, how it affects the distortion in the transformer, how it affects the power sag and feel and stuff like that. So lots of tone in here, high-powered 32-bit processor, and effects routing that if you can imagine it, you can pretty much do it. 4 parallel paths, 2 amplifier tones, there's 5 delays sitting there ready for you to go, and with the separate quarter-inch ins and separate quarter-inch outs and the XLR outs, you can wire this thing up so that it's going to the house while also going to your amplifier behind you. And the amplifier behind you is also an important part of the AIRD technology, because what that is that same dynamics. Well, if you want to plug this into the front of your amp, into the back of the effects return on your amplifier, normally it's just a dummy load delivery system. There's no interaction between your preamp and what's going on over there. AIRD, you go ahead and select your destination, and it's going to assume the dynamics between them and compensate for it, so it still feels and sounds the same as you would expect it if it were an all-in-one amplifier. So really impressive, super easy to use, right? And one of the things I also love, the fact that it has a Bluetooth communication system and effects routing, so you can do all your presets from your iOS device or Android, which we'll be showing you guys soon. So that's it in a nutshell, real fast, the new GT1000, and it'll be shipping in around March, and I hope you all get a chance to play it and hear it. I'm gonna play us out with a couple sounds.